Is that any better? Okay, you guys, if this seems like a little wonky and different, it's because it is. And hopefully the quality of this, I can't tell, looks better because I have upgraded my camera finally. And because I haven't gotten down like the settings of this Canon camera, my lighting is just really off. Like when you guys get to see the application demo, I look so washed out and so ghost-like and so pale. I'm about to do something really quick that's just going to show you just how oily I am, because I purposely have not blotted or used any oil in 7 hours to kind of show how oily I can get with this foundation. Yeah, that should be a pretty good indicator of just how oily I am. And the magic of lighting. Let me bring them back up so you can see that in this application demo, this foundation looks like it's really, really like too light, and this basically shows you how with powder and bronzer I can tone it down. Well, let me powder my face really quick. But this is Rose, and this is going to be, finally, my review on the Revlon Photo Ready Foundation. And the color that I have is 008 Golden Beige, which is a shade too light. This is 1 ounce. I'll annotate what the price of this is, and it does have a pump, which is pretty nice. This is the 4th foundation review I have on my channel, the 4th drugstore, and to tell you a little bit about myself, before a year ago, I only wore high-end foundation. So just keep that in mind. I will go ahead and link the other 3, finally, Revlon foundation reviews that I have. The first one I did is my most favorite, which is the whipped makeup. And keep in mind, I'm extremely oily. The one I like underneath that would be the liquid, and that's from the Color Stay line. The second one would be the Revlon Color Stay Liquid, which I like right below. And the third, which I absolutely hated, was the Nearly Naked. Now the Photo Ready would be linked, or would be ranked above the Nearly Naked. I don't like it quite as much as I do the Color Stay range. If I could almost mix this with the whipped, it would be like a perfect combination. Just because the whipped is very heavy, very full coverage, you have to work fast, it's difficult to get off, but it stays on really well. I won't talk too much about it because this video would be way too long, and I covered all the extensive details in those individual reviews, which again will be linked down below. But I have to say, with this makeup, if you're a subscriber of mine, every video that I've put up since my May Birchbox review, which was late by the way, since then on forward, I've been wearing this makeup in. But I have not gotten the most compliments on how my skin has looked, the last one being yesterday. I've not received as many as I have since wearing this foundation. I have to say this foundation will be would work if you're oily or combination oily. The step I recommend for you to do, not only to use a great oil controlling powder, but maybe possibly invest in a great mattifying primer, because I do use that with this. If you're more normal or dry, I think this would be great for you. It's not oil controlling at all, but because I use the combination of that powder and primer with it, I don't really have any complaints, not as much as I did with the Nearly Naked foundation. Now this is a better quality camera, which I'm sure my face probably looks horrible. A complaint that's often made about this is the shimmers, which I don't know if my camera is going to be good enough quality where you're going to be able to see the shimmers on it. They don't really translate on my skin. Like, when I apply this, as you'll see in the demo, I put it on the back of my hand and I use my fingers. And when I look at my hand, I can see shimmers, but they don't translate on my skin at all, so I have no complaints about that. But this foundation is pretty much medium to full coverage. You could go on and use like a second layer, but I don't. One layer is good enough for me. And again, I apply it with my fingers. I normally do use like a flat top Sigma Kabuki brush, but I felt like with that, I used way too much foundation, and it went on a lot sheerer for some reason. So with my fingers, I enjoy it more. I'm sure if you use like a beauty blender type sponge, something like that, it would thin it out a lot, but I would recommend you just use your fingers with this. A couple of quick points I'm going to make before I read like the factoids that Revlon has on their website is this does contain an SPF of 25, and it's not difficult to get off. Now, I notated in my Color Stay reviews that those two foundations, especially Whipped, are both a bitch to get off, but this comes off really easily. And I know my lighting blurs a lot of realism, but I guess if you have bright sunlight in your face, you can get a good idea. But I've had this on for almost 15 hours now, and I keep in mind I do use like a mattifying primer and all that stuff. And I'm going to put the sheet of paper up against the light to kind of dim it, so you can kind of get a more realistic look of what this looks like. But they describe this as giving you poreless. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you have really big pores, you're still going to be able to see them in this up close. Now in pictures, not so much. On camera, I do think this looks good, because I have gotten compliments on my skin. But if the shade is slightly off, if you're using a powder that might be too light, like I do use bronzer on my face because this is a little bit too light, and my powder is a little too light also. It can and it may emphasize pores, like on your T-zone or something, so again, make sure it matches your skin. But the whole airbrush thing, I guess in pictures and in video, it can do that. I've gotten tons of compliments with this, so the whole airbrush thing, I can agree as long as you do have the right shade match. I believe this has 12 different shades. Again, mine is 008 Golden Beige. Photochromatic pigments bend and reflect light to erase every flaw. Our complete yet undetectable coverage results in a stunning finish. Gives an airbrushed radiant complexion, oil-free and fragrance-free. Again, a couple other things I've already said. But yeah, I do like this foundation. I would repurchase it. And that's all I really have to say, and my battery's dying, so this is Rose, and thank you so much for watching this crap. If you haven't subscribed already, or if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and become a part of my random family. And until next time, hope you all have a great day. If you have any comments, questions, tips on how to use this, leave them down below. Any suggestions on any other foundations I need to try, leave that down below. But until next time, I hope you all have a great day, and you will see me again hopefully very soon with all this better situated and figured out.